Hi everybody, and welcome back to my Coping with Corona channel and series of videos. My name is Christian Waugh. I'm a professor of psychology at Wake Forest University. In previous videos, we talked about the importance of resilience and how resilience can forge you in the fire of stressors like this. See the links below for that video. We also talked about in our last video the idea of problem-focused coping. That is, if you have a particular problem that you can solve, then try to solve that problem. A lot of our problems, though, that we're facing with the coronavirus are not technically solvable, or at least we can solve a little bit of them and reduce them, but not get rid of them completely. So that's why we need what are called emotion-focused strategies. These are strategies that are designed to change how we feel towards the stressor of the problem, as opposed to changing the problem itself per se. So the two emotion-focused strategies that I want to talk about today, and we'll talk about a lot of them throughout the series, are avoidance and distraction. So let's start with a simple exercise. For the next couple of seconds, I want you to think about whatever you want. Whatever thoughts you have come through your mind are fine. There's only one rule. I don't want you to think about a giraffe. That's all. Anything you want, just not a giraffe. How'd you do? Well, this is an example of an exercise showing that it's very difficult to just not think of things, to avoid things effectively, because to do so keeps the thing that we want to avoid in our mind the whole time, especially when that thing is constantly surrounding us like the coronavirus pandemic is now, or that giraffe was just then. What we want to do instead is distract. And this is something that you're already doing, most likely, is taking time out from the issues and problems that have to deal with the coronavirus to take some time for yourself, to replenish yourself, to do something that makes you feel good, at least in this moment, something that doesn't have anything, perhaps, to do with the coronavirus pandemic. And the main difference between activities that we do to avoid a stressor and activities we do to distract are the intentionality with which we do them. People who tend to avoid stressors are those who deny that the stressor exists. It's out. I don't want to think about it. I don't even acknowledge that it's there. But people who tend to distract themselves are those who say, you know what? I know it's out there. I know the stressor is there, and I know that I have to deal with it, and I will. Just not now. Just let me take a moment to myself now. Avoidance tends to lead to bad outcomes like rumination and constantly thinking about it, even though you're trying to avoid it. Distraction tends to lead to pretty good outcomes, like higher well-being and lower depression. So take breaks for yourself, but not to avoid the stressor, just to distract yourself and let yourself feel good for a moment. Whether that be exercising or watching shows about Canadian farmers in small towns. Whatever makes you feel good in the moment and distracts yourself from the stressor at hand, as long as you know that it's still there and it's something that you're going to have to deal with eventually. All right, that concludes this segment. Next time, we'll talk about some more emotion-focused coping strategies. And again, I'm Christian Waugh from Wake Forest University. Be well.